What else is going on? I said we were going to have a new segment once a week. And let's just get right into the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Jewish Person of the Week. This is a soon-to-be award-winning segment where we break down and celebrate short, quickly, but with love and respect. Great Jews of all time. And of course, last week we did Elie Wiesel. Needs no introduction. You should read that book, Night.
Night is, that's a heavy read, but it's, I mean, why are you looking at me?
No,
like that?
Go ahead.
No, it's an amazing book. I mean, I've read it when I was in middle school. I think everybody should read that.
It's a very, very good book.
Very heavy.
And it's like 103 pages.
He came to my school too. I didn't get to meet him, but he did come to my school at Chapman because he passed away, right?
Yeah. Why weren't you there?
I was at the film school. He probably didn't want anything to do with the film school. It was like smart people at like regular campus.
And you didn't go to see him?
I wasn't able to get a ticket. It was like a hard event to get into.
Were you throwing one of your? Weren't you?
No, I wasn't throwing one of my. I was in college. Yeah,
when you were in college, like I remember distinctly. How many years ago were you in college? Like 15 years ago.
10
years ago.
9.
No, more than that.
It wasn't 15. I graduated
when
in 20...
you first got into college. How old were you?
2010. I was 20.
Okay. The point is that when you were in college, you were like, "Yeah, I'm throwing parties." I'm like. And you never invited me to one of those parties.
No.
No,
we kept that really separate.
You never said, "Yo, Rap, come down here, see my place."
I probably invited you once.
Because I was like, you can invite me to one of the parties. And like, I think you thought like, I'm inviting like my dad.
Right.
However, when we were doing the now canceled, now defunct, but possibly a
reboot? Maybe there's a reboot. They're rebooting everything. We've already kind of made the show. We've already kind of rebooted it ourselves.
We've taken the show to another level.
Yeah.
But when we were doing the show, The War at Home, 2 seasons,
yep.
which you get the DVDs for. I don't even think it streams.
No, it doesn't. It was for a minute, but
what a show! What a good time! I mean, what a good time we had. We had fun.
There'll be a reboot. We had a great time.
Right. Like, I wonder is there like a life for a reboot of a show? But everyone who watched the show loves the show.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I would have after parties, and I invited you. But when you became big time party thrower down in Orange County at Chapman, you never were like, "Yo, Rap, come down to one of my parties."
I don't think that's true.
My friends.
That's not true. I think that would have been cool. I mean, there wasn't anybody your age at those parties.
No shit.
And I don't think that had to do with it. Maybe it did. I don't remember, but it would have been cool. Hey, it would have been cool. It would have been cool.
Anyway,
can't do anything about it now, but
I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Jewish Person of the Week. Listen, guys, we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time, but I'm just going to go by your requests. This is by the fans, for the fans, but I'm not going to do that every single week. I'm Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Jewish Person of the Week. This is a slow pitch right down the middle. Slow pitch right down the middle. When you think of one of the great Jews of comedy, I mean, Mountaintop.
Yeah.
If you were going to do the, what is it called? Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good.
Of men, Jewish men in comedy, who would be on that Mount Rushmore?
Oh, man, that's really difficult.
That's tough.
I mean, 100% Larry David. But I've heard you already did your Jewish Person of the Week, right? You've done it once.
Elie Wiesel.
You did Elie Wiesel. You did Jesus.
Well,
did you say Jesus?
Well, I didn't do him as a Jewish Person of the Week. I just said that Jesus
You
Christ,
were saying who were the, right.
Well, because Jesus Christ is,
right.
Love him or not, he's a Jew. Jesus Christ is a very significant Jew.
Very significant.
Controversial Jew.
100%.
Beloved Jew.
I would say so.
But nonetheless, a Jew.
I think that's true. It is true, right?
And for the people who worship, and I say this with all due respect because I don't make fun of people's religions.
No.
For the people that worship, love, and have so much reverence for Jesus Christ, who also dislike the Jews.
Did he? Oh, you're
what?
saying the people dislike.
people.
Okay, because I was like, Jesus didn't dislike the Jews.
No, Jesus was a Jew.
He's cool. Yeah,
He's a great. I mean,
he's walking the Holy Land in Jerusalem.
he's a fantastic Jew.
I mean, I agree with you. I didn't know him. I mean,
Never met him myself.
right?
Heard great things.
Yeah.
Heard fantastic things about him. But when you get to
Yes.
people that are anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic,
Yeah,
and they'll have crosses,
they seem to forget that.
they seem to forget that he's probably our. Listen,
He's on Mount Rushmore. You're asking about Mount Rushmore.
why did Mount Rushmore comedic Jews?
Okay. Well, he could have been. I mean, he might have been a funny guy. We don't know.
He was
weren't-
great with his hands.
That's true too.
Carpenter.
Right.
He would be doing, what's that? It's not Postmates. There's an app. It's like if
TaskRabbit. He'd be. Go ahead, man.
yo.
Go ahead. Come on, guys. Don't get me down this road. I had a bunch of shelves. I'm in a new apartment. I could think of so many things I needed on TaskRabbit. I hired so many different people.
And none of them would be as good as Jesus Christ. If Jesus Christ showed up at your house as a TaskRabbit guy, he's gonna
God, he'd get it done.
quick. Because I used TaskRabbit a few times, and these people are like, "Oh, I don't have a drill." I'm like, "I have one, but like, am I supposed to like lend you my hammer?"
Oh man, I'm crying.
But
Oh,
essentially, if Jesus Christ is walking
Yes.
among us,
Yeah.
most likely
He's great.
he's working for TaskRabbit.
100%. Well, hopefully he'd be like
how old was
the most reviewed.
How old was he? Oh, he'd be a great leader.
Oh, he'd be like on the top of it.
We should
hard.
check TaskRabbit and find out who's the number one reviewed TaskRabbit.
That's interesting. Get
then
him on the podcast.
But then look into it because that might be Jesus Christ himself.
That's true. Reincarnated.
Is Jesus Christ, did he
I don't know why you're
away?
asking.
Did he pass
Don't ask
away?
me about these things. I don't want. This is on
I'm gonna
cameras and YouTube, and
two-shot. Jesus Christ.
you could take a poll.
Did Jesus Christ pass away or get
Yes, he was crucified.
at 27?
I don't know the age, to be honest.
Denisha?
Shit.
Please leave
Yeah.
a message. Please leave a comment. We're looking to find out
Yes.
the most revered
Don't-
Jew of all time.
30.
Jesus Christ was
Wow.
done away with,
Crucified, right?
crucified,
Anyway,
killed. That means killed,
I'm just gonna like you.
sacrificed. Listen, we're all in
We
this
don't
together.
fact check here either. 33. My
33.
age. My age. That's my age.
Right. And Jesus had done so much at 33.
God, making me feel like a piece of shit.
Jesus did so much.
O-
But
obviously.
the thing you have in common with Jesus Christ
Is what? That we're both
you're both 33, both Jewish.
right.
Don't
I
forget
think I
that.
had a lot in common. That's pretty cool. But the Mount Rushmore.
Of Jewish comedians.
I mean,
There's
just
so
the
many.
two that come to mind right now that are just like you're asking me right now. I would put Larry David and I would say Adam Sandler has to be up there for me. I mean, the Hanukkah song. I mean, there's so many.
It doesn't matter about I mean,
It's just-
Adam Sandler's a
Adam
beast.
Sandler is just
But then you go Mel Brooks,
Mel Brooks.
Woody Allen.
We don't want to maybe put him up there anymore.
You could not want to put him up
He's
there.
not
but
on my Mount Rushmore. I'll tell you that.
Right now.
Woody's not on my Mount Rushmore.
right now.
He never was on my Mount
Okay.
Rushmore.
He wasn't.
He wasn't ever on mine.
So you're not just
personally.
going with the.
I'm not going. No, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I saw the documentary. I don't fucking know what's what, but some disturbing shit there. Okay, I don't know about him
Okay.
and Sunyi.
Okay. Okay. So what other Jewish?
Those.
I'm not trying to go down a rabbit
How many
hole.
people are on Mount Rushmore? Four.
Four. You don't know?
Of course.
And you're
Why
talking
don't
about
you tell us who's on Mount Rushmore?
no
No.
Lincoln, Washington,
Who else?
Thomas Edison. Is he a president?
No, Thomas Edison wasn't a president.
Was Thomas Edison a president?
No. Right? No.
Don't you
No,
take
I'm not.
that phone
I'm not.
out
I
and
just
fact
think Thomas
check.
Edison wasn't a president.
It's Lincoln, Washington, Thomas
Thomas
Edison,
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson and Thomas Edison. I think
No.
There's like
there
Tom
weren't
Tom.
two Thomases. No, it wasn't. It's not like Tom. There weren't two Thomases on Mount Rushmore.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty positive.
Thomas Edison did what?
Benjamin Franklin, maybe?
Was he a president?
Yeah.
Franklin's.
No, not Franklin's. Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin
Wore
Franklin.
the bifocals and everything.
That's Thomas Edison. He wore the glasses.
I don't know, but it does.
Thomas Edison discovered electricity.
Yeah, wasn't a president.
I know that.
Okay, it doesn't sound like you know that. I don't fucking know.
So who's on Mount Rushmore?
Well,
if you take that phone out, I'm going to beat
I just
your
have to
ass.
look at my.
No, you don't
I have
have
to
to
see
look
what
at
time
shit.
it is right now because
you don't have
I
to
have
look
something
at
at 5:30.
Dean, who's on Mount Rushmore?
1 second
You
before
mean
I
to
just
tell
have to
me
send
you
a
can't
text.
tell me without looking on your phone who's on Mount Rushmore?
No, everyone
Put that
knows.
fucking phone away.
Everyone knows who's on Mount
Right.
Rushmore.
Thomas Edison, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, and George Washington.
Yeah.
One somebody else.
Fuck. Who is on Mount Rushmore?
Roosevelt. Who?
We're just gonna. Oh, of course, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
Theodore Roosevelt. They call him Theo.
Right.
They call him Theo.
Well, who's on your? Because I got two right now, but I'm trying to think of some other Jewish. I mean, would you put yourself on Mount Rushmore?
No, not as a Jewish comedians. These are beasts.
Okay.
I mean, listen. Adam Sandler's a
Yeah, he's
monster.
got to be on there. Has to be.
I mean, but there's so many.
I'm trying to think of.
You know who I was watching on TV the other
Who?
day? They showed a full clip on TikTok. They had David Letterman with Don Rickles.
Oh yeah, he was great.
And it was Don Rickles, and for some reason they kept Denzel out. Denzel was out there. So, because normally it would be one guest.
Yeah.
And Don Rickles,
Yeah, he was fucking great.
funny as shit.
Was he Jewish? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield wasn't Jewish, right?
Yes, Rodney Dangerfield was Jewish. Can you please check that, Denisha? Rodney Dangerfield had to be Jewish because Rodney Dangerfield's real name wasn't Dangerfield.
What a
It's
great
like
name.
It's like Schlitzberg or something like that. It's like Dangerfield, Rodney Dangerfield. That's a funny person.
There's a lot of people. I'm gonna have to come back to that.
But you said it first. Larry David, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, Jew of the Week, Jewish Person of the Week. Fantastic Jewish humor. The man created Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And paved the way for everyone wearing New Balances and made it cool.
Right.
Because of him wearing all the New Balances. And you wanted to wear New Balances.
That's not the reason why he's on the Mount Rushmore. And that's not the reason
It's
why
part of the
That's not
reason.
the reason why he's the Jew of the Week, him wearing the New Balance. Like
It's just New Balances were so uncool, and then he put those puppies on, and it was like everyone wanted New Balance shoes.
So that's how
it's part of it. It's all encompassing. I feel like.
You know what? Maybe next time I'll do the Jewish Person of the Week. I'll do that by myself.
Okay, well, I'd like to be a part of it.
Because you're talking about, oh yeah, he wrote Seinfeld, he created Seinfeld, he did Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he made New Balances cool. That's what you got.
I don't think that's such. I don't think that's so terrible. I mean, what were you going to say as a third?
I was going to go on a whole thing, but you just like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got
For Larry David.
Yeah,
or on my Mount Rushmore.
I'm going to move on.
I'd love for you to move on
because we got sidetracked with the whole thing. But Larry David, oh man,
yeah.
I mean, talk about bring a fucking smile to the world.
And he was my neighbor at one point. I don't know if I told you that.
Tell stories. Do tell.
It's not like a crazy story, but we were moving into a house. My family was moving into a house out in LA, and he was maybe 2 houses down, and and my parents were building this house for a couple of years, and he knocked on the door. He knocked on our door when we moved in, and my mom answered it, and she was like, "Oh my God, like Larry David." And he was like, "Hi, I swear to God, he was like, "Hi, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Larry. Do you have any kids?" And she was like, "Yeah, we have 4 children." And he was like, "Okay, like, are they loud?" He wanted to know how many kids my parents had, just judging like the noise level of the neighborhood. And that was it. And that was the only time they ever saw him.
And that was the end of the conversation.
That was it. I think that was it.
Did he know that you were one of the kids?
No.
Because
he probably would have moved the fuck out. He would have been
either
gone.
or bought your house and
He would have been gone.
to get you off the block.
100%. But he did have that Prius, that famous Prius parked in that driveway every day. And it was incredible to see.
Larry David.
Yeah.
Beast.
Absolutely.
A fucking comedic
Jewish icon.
monster. One of a kind.
He should be in the fucking Torah. Put him in there.
100%. They should revamp the Torah with some of the great
They should.
Jews. They should with
Put the Hanukkah song in there. Get Adam Sandler's song. We're like in temple singing along at service. That would be fantastic.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast Jewish Person of the Week.